Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Claibs Online. I'm Mike Claiborne, and we are going to talk with our good friends from Ameren because they have come up with a new item that's certainly something while you may not think about it on the surface, but from a safety standpoint, it's something that we will come to truly appreciate. And with us today is Eric Kozak of Ameren, Illinois. And Eric, I'll let you tell us about the gas sniffer because it sounds like something from another planet. But when we think about how important natural gas is and the repercussions from it, if we don't manage it well, it could cause some great problems. So tell me about the gas sniffer.
Yeah, so first of all, Mike, thanks for having us on. It's always a pleasure to come on your show and talk to you about some of the things we have going on at Ameren. But pretty excited about this. As you said, there's some days, you don't see much change in the utility business, right? There's still pipes and there's still wires, and it all seems the same. And then you get something like this, and it seems like we're living in the future. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. So what we do today is we have to walk every inch of our 18,000 miles of pipeline once every 4 years to check for leaks. And we do that with, we give instruments to individuals that walk along the street, and they literally walk on top of the pipeline and up to your house and, check it up to your meter and make sure there's no leaks or anything on the system. And so that process has been going on for years. And we've been using the same pieces of equipment for over like 20, 30 years since I've started. And so what we have today is a vehicle that you can just at a high level, you can literally drive this vehicle down the road and it'll do the same thing. It's got a series of sensors on it and things, but it just makes that process so much quicker and easier and better.
Now, I know a lot of people, when they think Ameren, they think of electricity, but natural gas is something that's big with Ameren and certainly its customers. How many miles of pipeline does Ameren, Illinois have to cross through service territory?
Yeah, we have over 18,000 miles of pipeline. Wow. And that just counts the mains. It doesn't really count the services, so we don't really count those as mains. But yeah, so it's quite a bit. And our service territory over in Ameren, Illinois is larger than the state of Indiana. So I always tell people we basically have everything from the Chicago suburbs down to Kentucky.
Man, that's a lot when you think about the size we're talking about here. So for you guys at Ameren, how often do you inspect the pipelines? Because I know that, as we mentioned, if you're not careful, you can have a bigger problem, as we see from time to time, not necessarily in this area. So how often are inspections taking place?
Yeah, and generally, Mike, they're once every 4 years. Some pipelines are required on an annual basis, a subset, stuff like some downtown business districts or some of our larger high pressure pipes. We do those on an annual basis. But most of the pipes that you have out in front of your house, it's once every 4 years is our current cycle. And so, as I mentioned, we drive that vehicle down the road, and if it gets kind of any indication, it marks it on a GPS map, and it gives an indication because it's extremely sensitive, and methane can come from a variety of sources, and methane is primarily what is in natural gas. And so you can have methane from decomposition or other things. So we're still using, it's still new to us. So we're kind of following our traditional process with this vehicle and seeing what kind of results it's given us versus the traditional method of leak survey.
So this really is a game changer as you begin to get to know it and it gets to know you. And it also gives you a chance, I would imagine, to reallocate manpower and people power in other directions for Ameren.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I tell people all the time is like, we can take the existing manpower and we can spend less time looking for leaks and more time fixing them. It's this process just speeds that up. And the results we're seeing with our initial pilots are very positive. We're doing it about half the time. And we have found every leak we have found with the traditional survey and more, so we're finding these very small leaks now so that, people might not even smell them, notice them or whatever. And we can get out there and fix them before they do become, larger. And then people call us and we come out and fix them anyway. But most of these leaks we're finding are extremely small.
How many gas sniffers do you have, and are they manned? I mean, are there people driving them, or are these one of the ones where we see with some companies where they have the driverless cars?
Yeah, we're not there with the driverless yet. They are manned, but and we only have one right now, but we have plans to purchase more in the future. We think we'll need like at least 4 is what kind of where we're thinking to cover our entire service territory. But yeah, I mean, I think about that often. Is at some point down the road, is it just going to be you just send this thing out and let it do its thing and bring back the data? So I'm sure that'll be here sooner rather than later.
So I'm sure people would like to get a look at this gas sniffer, and if they see it going through their neighborhood, it's okay.
I think it's a Ford Escape hybrid, if I'm not correct. I may have the exact model wrong, but you can literally put it on any vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
What's in there is in the back is a unit that looks like about the size of a suitcase, goes in the back of it, and then it has a little sniffer on the front end where it takes in the data, and it also has a anemometer on top to measure wind speed. So it does all this stuff, calculates, and when it gets an indication, it literally plots it on a satellite image map and shows you, okay, here's some indications. Go check those out and see if you have an issue.
Eric Kozak is our guest. And Eric, you've been at this for a long time. I'm sure you're one of those guys that says it never ceases to amaze you on how technology continues to improve your industry.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I've been in this a long time, and not a lot has changed, to be honest with you. The systems are really good. And, Ameren, over the years, we've done a great job of investing in our system and modernizing. So we have a very tight system. There's some companies that are in larger cities that have, the old cast iron mains. We don't have any of that, which is nice. All our system is fairly modern. So it just seeing this new technology and help us detect leaks sooner and quicker, and just make sure our customers are able to use our product safely so they can have that hot shower and hot meal for their families. We love doing it. I'm passionate about the industry, and so I'm just happy to have this new technology at my fingertips.
Nothing wrong with having a hot shower and a hot meal, thanks to the good folks at Ameren and the natural gas. And be aware, there may be a gas sniffer near you in your neighborhood, I'm sure.
Yeah, there will be. I guarantee in the next few years, you'll see one driving around.
All right. Hey, Eric Kozak, we thank you so much for your time. More importantly, thank you for what you and your team at Ameren Illinois do for their great customers of Illinois.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the time.
The ABB MobileGuard is a series of components and a high-tech analyzer that's integrated into a vehicle, and that allows us to drive the streets of our communities and our systems, and it will detect, measure, quantify, and map natural gas emissions while we drive in real time.
They spend a lot of time walking, looking to find leaks. This allows us to find leaks quicker and easier, and the employees can focus on fixing them rather than spending so much time on just trying to find them.
For us to jump in and see the benefits of this and go out and be kind of one of the leaders in the industry and trying to figure out how best to incorporate this new technology and very quite innovative technology into our operations has been really exciting for the whole team.
We have had a number of successful pilot runs, and in those runs we were able to find potential leaks on our system. So that's great using this very sensitive technology.
So when you talk about customer affordability, we're really doing everything we can to keep customer rates affordable. And this vehicle helps us do that.